Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Have I got some news for you? I think we're live. I haven't streamed on YouTube in an incredibly long time, so I'm hoping everything works. Can you see me? If you can see me, say hi in the chat. Can we get a collective wave? Standard YouTube streaming is a little bit delayed, so I have to double check to make sure it's working. You have to press about 7 buttons before you can even start streaming on YouTube, but how are we doing, stream? How are we doing? There we go. I can see it all rolling in now. I forget there is actually a big fat delay on. But hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Orion and I record vlogs every weekend of what me and my family get up to. And oftentimes during those vlogs, I kind of hit you with a bit of a life update, or I just kind of keep you guys in tune with what's going on in my life. Currently, the vlogs are about a week or 2 weeks behind, obviously because I went to Vietnam for a good 14 days. Those vlogs, that kind of put me behind a little bit. So I thought today, because there is actually so much stuff going on in my life right now, and on top of that, not only is a lot going on in my life, but it's happening really fast, that I was like, instead of filming a video this weekend that you might see in 3 weeks time, I was like, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna live stream on the channel and I'm just gonna spit the ball and just kind of explain to you guys what is going on, because I really dislike the concept of being cryptic on Twitter or on my social medias in general and just being like, oh my god, it's the worst thing ever. And don't get me wrong, this news is not good, like, by any means, and I will get into that very quickly, but it is like, I don't want to leave you guys on a cliffhanger, and I'm going to kind of keep you up to date with what's going on as it occurs. And in this particular sorry, my mother's talking in the chat, but in this particular moment in time, it's very real and it's happening. So I guess I'll just begin from the beginning. Like, there's no better place to start, because the vlogs are kind of outdated. I've not explained to the vlog and you guys yet what is going on. So long story short, in my building there is like an underpass, right? It's kind of like where an underground garage, where essentially if you took my building and removed an apartment from the building on the ground floor and then just put some pillars in there, that's where the cars would go, right? There was one of these in my particular building, and it never got used because the spaces were really small. So you're talking like a Nissan Micra to get a car in there, or you're gonna squeeze with your own car. It wasn't well spaced out, and kids used to hang out under there all the time, you know, causing havoc and whatnot. So what they decided to do is the landlord decided to stick a big old board up over it and cover it up, and it just became this empty garage space in my building that just never got used. Fast forward many years, I'm talking like a good probably 4 or 5 years. I can't even think how long it's been. They decided to build a new apartment there. So they took the board down and began working on a new apartment. So for like the last year or so, they have been building and planning and ripping it out and actually putting a brand new apartment there. Now, I've lived in this property for about 13 years now. And when I first came, I had one landlord, and then they went bust, and then it got taken over by a new set. But I'm like a legacy tenant. Obviously, I've only been here 13 years, so heavy quotations on the term legacy there. But it changed hands, and obviously, I don't know how bad that handover was, but the new landlord wasn't aware of the way that the building was built. Now, I really wish I'd prepared this better, but obviously when I was having Benjamin, we completely ripped my flat out, and then we put in a whole new, like, I literally knocked a wall down. Well, I say I knocked it down. I saw the wall down, extended the kitchen out, and created like a bar. If you've seen the vlogs at my house, like, you'd know that. And I ripped out the bathroom and put new tiles in and put a new bath in, a new shower. Like, I've done a lot, like, to my place, and to make it a home that it is now. And when we did that, we noticed that the way that the apartment was built is awful. Now, when I moved in, it was a brand new build. I was very fortunate. I'm not going to go into too many details, but I was home. I wasn't home. I was living in a hostel at the time, and I went from a hostel, a bedsit hostel, into a brand new 2-bedroom apartment in a very nice area. I was very lucky with that fact, but obviously, as everybody knows, new builds aren't built the best. And obviously, when I ripped it out, I got to see how bad it was. I'm talking when I ripped out the bathroom and started like repiping things and all that kind of stuff. There's newspaper stuffed in the walls as like I don't even know why they put newspaper in the wall, but it was like they'd use newspaper to pad out the walls and stuff like that. It was honestly awful. The shower was a complete basic plaster room, and it was just painted with quote unquote waterproof paint. And obviously over the years, especially because I'm tall, the shower, like the water would flow off my head and hit the wall and then like create damp and mold and like rotting. At one point whilst I've lived here, there was a fucking hole in my bathroom. I kid you not, I had to stick a board down to walk over this massive hole I had in the bathroom floor, because the water had soaked into the floor and rotted the floorboards and stuff like that, because the floorboards of this building are like what's the word? It's like it's not PDF. That's a document. I can't remember. MDF. Sorry. Like the floors are like made out of MDF. It was genuinely, this building is built like crap. Now fast forward to, like I said, a year ago when they decided to put a new apartment in. As they're doing this, they have to do a lot of checks. Now I don't know the ins and outs and all the details of this, but essentially they had to do a fire safety check on the building. And various safety checks to ensure that the property is suitable to be lived in. And because they're building a brand new apartment, new contractors come in. Obviously, it's been 13 years or even more than that since they actually built this building, because obviously it wasn't still being built whilst I lived here. The building was already up, obviously. So it's been a good 15 years and a completely different landlord. And as they started building this new property on the ground floor, in place of that garage, they discovered that the building is actually not fire safe. Now, originally, I thought, this started about 6 months ago, maybe-ish. I genuinely thought that it was like, oh, the fire alarm system doesn't work, because over the years, it just hasn't worked. So I thought, they installed fire wardens on the ground and the top floor of the building, and they used to walk around with foghorns. Like every hour, they walk up and down, check the building and stuff like that, and they had foghorns because we had no fire alarm system. It was quite nice because my apartment block has got quite rough over the years. When I moved here, it was lovely, full of like really nice like families and stuff like that. I got along with a lot of my neighbors, and over the years it's just deteriorated to the point where police are always around here, like smashed windows, drugs being dealt. Like it honestly, we went for a solid period where you could not walk up and down the stairs without smelling drugs. Now I'm all for you doing what you want to do, like you do you. I'm not against people that like do drugs per se. It's not a very nice environment to be raising a child, you know what I mean? So when these fire wardens came in, it was great because a lot of that stuff stopped, because all of a sudden there was like people designated at the building to kind of look after the building, obviously in case there was a fire, but it preempted a lot of the bad stuff happening, because obviously there were eyes there now. And after about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months or so, these wardens being in the building, obviously we had contractors come out and refit the building with fire alarms. Like I have a new fire alarm in the kitchen, a new one in the corridor, and in the entire building from top to bottom had a fire alarm system. And it all works because we hear it all the time, because they were doing tests and stuff like that. So we got fire alarms in and the fire wardens left. I was like, oh, okay, like we're back to kind of normal again, like nothing really too stressed to think about. Roll on a month later, and all of a sudden the fire wardens came back. I think it was shortly after I got back from Vietnam, the fire wardens had come back into the building. I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I got an email or a text message or whatever it was, because they update you with what's going on, obviously. And it was, the fire wardens being reinstated because we're not entirely sure that, like, not entirely confident with the safety of, like, the fire safety of the building. So we had fire wardens in. And this is where it gets a little bit dicey, because obviously before, like when you have fire wardens in the building, I was like, oh, maybe it's just, it's just a fire alarm system. They fix that system. They have people in place in like momentarily whilst they fix that problem. And then when they came back again, it was like, oh, maybe they're just repairing the fire alarm system. Maybe it didn't work how they wanted it to, or there was an issue with it or something like that. You never know. It could be wiring issues, because there was literally for a good month or so, there was just wires hanging from the ceiling as they were installing this stuff. So I was like, oh, maybe they've just not set it up correctly or something like that. And lo and behold, I receive a message from the landlord that basically says, the building is not fire safe. Oh, no, I tell a lie. It wasn't a message. Someone knocked on my door 2 days ago, I think it was, asked to speak to me. And I was like, and they basically came with like a pamphlet, like several sheets of A4 paper, with long list of fire safety and all this kind of stuff. I was like, oh, maybe they're just briefing us on like in case of emergency. Obviously, anyone who's worked or has worked in general, you probably at some point got explained to fire drills and that kind of stuff, and explained like, oh, in emergency, this is where we gather, this is your fire safety point, blah 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 blah. I was like, oh, this person just doing that, and it turns out that that's not quite the case. The building is not structurally, I don't know the technical terms for it, because I can't just pull it out of the top of my head, and I couldn't tell you like what she said to me word for word. I've got a terrible memory, and Jess will attest to that. The moment I ever receive a phone call from anyone, I literally have to call Jess straight away and just be like, hey, this is what I was just told, because she'll remember it and I just won't. But basically, the building is not structurally sound, or structurally fire safe is probably the best way to word it. And for that reason, we have to move out. Whilst they do work on the building. So it's not like they're like, oh, tomorrow you need to go. It's a case of, okay, so what we were told, or what this woman told me at least, was just like, okay, coming up soon, you're gonna have to move into either a hotel or an apartment, depending on your situation. Where would you prefer to live? And I was like, wait, what? Well, you just told me that the building's not fire safe, and I have to think of somewhere like off the top of my dome where would be the best place for me to live. And after living here for 13 years, you know what I mean? It's not like an easy thing. I never thought that this was the way I was gonna move out of this apartment. Like, as I said, like I came from a hostel in Coventry, if people know where that is. I fucking hate Coventry. It was a horrible place to live. But I came from there into a really nice place. Everyone knows now I live in Warwick, which is a fucking stark contrast from where I was. I'm very appreciative of having a roof above my head. I value it above all else. Obviously, family stuff like that, but like having a roof above your head is so important, which is why you should always pay your rent and your council tax and all that good stuff. But I've lived here for 13 years and I've called it a home for so long that I never expected that this was how I was gonna end living here. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we get basically told that we're gonna either have to live in a hotel for a period of like a minimum period of 12 months upwards. Like they don't know. I was like, how long is it gonna be? When are we gonna have to move out? And they literally, like, she turns around, she doesn't know. She just doesn't have any idea yet. They haven't got the contractors out to actually assess the building to see how long the work's going to take to fix it and stuff like that. They have no idea if we can even return to the building. All of these things. It's just like, what a mindfuck, which is why I tweeted out that day and shared on my socials. It's like this, I've just received some of the worst news, and I couldn't be more precise about what was going on because I didn't really know what was going on until the following day, where it was like, okay, right, this is actually serious, like we need to plan. Because she was like, she literally goes, make sure you pack a bag just in case. I was like, in case of what? I was like, of course, like in a fire, like everyone's at risk of a fire happening. Fires can happen for all sorts of reasons, right? But never did I think in my life that someone would be telling me at my home, you need to make sure you've got a bag packed, because if the building goes up, like you need to take your valuables. It's like, yeah, obviously when you're in a workplace or at school, you're told these things, or like in college and stuff like that, you're told that, like, you know, make sure only take your valuables. And it's like, oh, dude, like we have to pack an emergency bag just in case the building goes up in flames. Like, holy shit. And it makes it even scarier knowing that they're doing work on the ground floor currently. So, no, obviously they're professionals. I have at the utmost, like, trust in that they're not going to do something that would cause a fire. But when you've got that much work going on the ground floor, like for the first couple of weeks, they were literally, what's the word? They were literally using a jackhammer on the ground floor. The building, it's not been fun, to say the least. So then we got left in this situation where it was like, oh shit, like I might be living in a hotel. Like we might have to live in a hotel for 12 months minimum. And that is not a pleasant thought when you've just got I've just got Benjamin into school, like literally started school a month ago, started reception. We got him settled in school. He's very happy there. Like, we've got our routines, everything's working. Like, obviously with my work, you guys know, with Tom, like, I need good internet, and I've got my base here. Like, I've just got a Mac. Well, I got that back in August, but like, I'm very set up and settled, and I don't really need to go anywhere. Obviously, if you offered me a house tomorrow, I'd move tomorrow, like, given the opportunity to do that. But obviously, as everyone knows, the housing market in the UK right now is really fucking hard. It's really hard to get a property. And I'm not really in a position where I can just be like, just gonna go get a house tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? It's not that simple sometimes. And even situations like you're saying, oh, like, why don't you just go rent another place somewhere? It's just like, well, dude, this place, the value that I get for the property that I'm in, like, I'm in a really big space. The reason I can have my desk here in the lounge is because of how big my lounge is. It's like, we got 2 very large bedrooms, which is brilliant for Benjamin. It's brilliant for me and Jess. Jess gets her own space to do her crafts, and she has her own desk in the bedroom, and like, we have a lot of space to work with. Don't get me wrong, we have definitely outlived this space, which is why we want a house. As you guys know, we nearly had a baby this year. Unfortunately, we lost it earlier on in the year. But that probably would have catapulted us into getting a house and stuff like that. But it's quite scary. So like, the concept of living out of a hotel for a year is just non-negotiable. It's like that can't happen. So, you know, trying to think of backup plans, making arrangements, speaking to some people, like, obviously, that can help in situations like that. My dad's brilliant for this. Is like, if you guys have learned anything from watching my Vietnam vlogs, you know that me and my dad are very much just like, fuck it, let's just go do this, and like, we just get shit done. Like, that's just how we are as people. Like, never stress, really, never really panic. Obviously, this is a different situation because I'm responsible for a child, and obviously Jess as well. So it's like, it's a little bit more scary than just being in Vietnam and just like, hey, let's just go to Hanoi tomorrow, let's just go to a random island, let's ride a bike for the first time in a different country. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, even when the power went out in the island and I was like, oh, my dad's sick and I need to go get medication, I was like, I just get it done. Like, it's not something I ever get stressed or worried about. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here quivering in my boots. It's a bit nerve-wracking, don't get me wrong, but there are silver linings to this situation. And as we got fed more information, basically what happened is we got assigned, like, I don't know what her title is. She's like the housing coordinator or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, planning coordinator and how, like, tenancy and planning coordinator at properties and stuff like that. We got assigned a person basically to look after us in our situation. And I reiterated, I was just like, look, like, I've got a 4-year-old son who's just started school. We can't move really far away. Like, we happily need to move closer to school because Benjamin doesn't actually go to school in a local area. I drive like about 20 minutes away every day to take him to school because he goes to a really nice school. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you guys where he goes to school, but it's like, he goes to a very nice school, and like, we'd happily move closer to that school. But we can't move further away. And obviously, like, if we were flexible, then yeah, they could just pick us up and go put us in like a town an hour away, because, you know, it's a UK landlord. I don't know the best way to describe what they are, but like, you know, they have properties all over the place, and it would obviously be a lot more convenient for them if we could move, but we just can't because of Benjamin. The silver lining obviously is that with Benjamin, it means that we can't actually go into a hotel. So after like checking and seeing what our compensation rights are and the other rights that we're entitled to, because we're being forcefully moved in an emergency situation, it's not by choice. And because of Benjamin, they can't put us up in a hotel. So the scare of being in a hotel lasted for a maximum of like 2 days before I got assigned this housing officer who like talked to us and actually reiterated and explained a little bit better that I was told up front, like, what was going to happen. And she let me know. It's just like, look, you can, you know, probably move into another apartment, or like best case scenario, you end up in so these are the options. It's Airbnb. Then it goes Airbnb, apartment, and house. So they're the 3 options. Not that we get to just pick whichever one we want. But obviously the hotel's ruled off because we need access to utilities like washing machine, tumble dryer. Like, obviously, anyone who's a parent here knows, or obviously even if you're growing up, you know that you have to get you need school clothes washing constantly. It's, you know, kids go through clothes like nothing because you come back covered in muck and all sorts of stuff. So having access to utilities is like essential for us. So living in a hotel isn't negotiable, really, especially considering my job. I was like, you'd be hard pressed to find, if you can find a hotel with the internet that matches either my home or better, good luck to you. I genuinely think they'd struggle to find like a hotel that could accommodate what I do for a living. And not only that, it's like, dude, could you imagine in a hotel room, me, Jess, and Benjamin occupying a hotel room and working out of it at the same time and trying to do everything else? Like, it's just a nightmare. So basically we kind of tugged on our rights, and the hotel concept got shrugged away, and then it became like Airbnb, flat, or hotel, and now, sorry, or house. And that was a silver lining. We also pushed for the possibility of, or the option to move out permanently, because I don't really want to come back and forth. Like, obviously, I don't know if you guys have seen my setup, but it's not easy to pick my setup and put it somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? It takes up a decent chunk of space. I don't need all this stuff, don't get me wrong. It's a luxury to have the setup that I have for what I do. But to continue doing what I do, like, I can't just pick it up and just go plonk it in a hotel, or, you know, in an Airbnb or an apartment. Like, yeah, they could offer us a 2-bedroom apartment, but that apartment might be tiny for all we don't know until we actually see it. And like, obviously, like I said, I don't really want to be coming back and forth. Like, imagine moving out for like 2 months and then you move back in 2 months later, and then they're like, oh, actually the work's not quite done, we're still finding issues, you need to move back out again. Having to move all this stuff is so much effort. So we're kind of like pulling on the strings of being like, hey, like, we are open to moving permanently if that option becomes available. And then today I got my next update, which, by the way, when I got told all this information, like, Jess works in an industry that's quite similar to what's going on here, so she has a bit more insight, and it was like, this could take up to 18 months, you know what I mean? It could take a long time to do stuff, and I know from experience of living here how long it takes them to do things. Excuse me. How long it takes them to do things. So we were like, really, I've lost my train of thought. Let me have a drink so I can lubricate my throat, because I've just been talking non-stop for like 20 minutes. I'm probably rambling a lot. I do apologize for that. I'm trying to be as concise as possible, but it's all kind of scurrying in my brain. Oh my god, that tea is nice. Cheers. Has anyone else got a cup of tea? This lengthy drama talk. Oh, what was I saying? I completely just trailed off and lost my train of thought. Let me think for a moment. There is a brief pause. This would be a great time for an advert in the video. I'm waiting for my chat to catch up, because I'm sure my chat will tell me exactly what I was rambling on about. Yeah, they're all saying cheers. Have a bottle of water. Have coffee. Love that. Go for the squash. I got both. I got both. Oh yeah, so the silver linings were the potential, like, at the best case scenario, silver linings could be that we get moved into a house, and that house could turn into a permanent deal, because, like I said, we don't want to go back and forth and go through all the dramas of doing that. And it's just like, it's not really fair on Benjamin to constantly pick him up and move him from house to house. Like, a kid needs to feel settled. It's not fair on Benjamin at all. And like, yeah, obviously it's inconvenient for us to work in this situation, but it's not impossible by any means. Like, I'm very fortunate that I've got, you know, a laptop that I can go work in a coffee shop tomorrow. Obviously the internet's not going to be great, so that poses a bit of an issue for downloading footage and things like that, but it's not impossible by any means. That's one of the great things about the industry that I work in. And yeah, so with that in mind, there was like, oh, okay, there's a little bit of hope. We'll plan for backup, like, as in a just in case if shit hits the fan, then we've got something to fall back on, just because you need that in life. Like, you always need, like, that's, you know, it's good to have like rainy day fund to fall back on and stuff like that. But in this situation, it's like, okay, we're gonna sort this out. And then today, I received this phone call after the assumption that it's going to be a couple of months before they actually start to move us out the building and find somewhere for us to go and stuff like that. It's going to take some time. It's like I've got time to plan and like properly pack things up and get ready to move. Because it is inevitable that we will move. It's not like we might move, we might not. No, we are definitely moving. So it scrapped our plans for this weekend. We're going to go out and buy boxes and stuff like that, keep the receipts for compensation reasons, and start packing up, you know, the flat that I've lived in for 13 months. So it was like 13 months, for 13 years, sorry. Probably been even longer than that now that I think about it. And that was kind of the plan. But then I received this message today that basically said, due to the safety concerns of the building not being very fire safe, and because of how high I am up in the building, it makes it significantly higher of a risk for me to escape the building if something was to go wrong. So they're prioritizing, because I'm near the top of the building, like I said, like I try not to dox myself too much, but like, you know, they're prioritizing us at the top before the bottom, because if a fire happens, obviously, and it goes up, like, we're stuck up here, like, and apparently, you know, due to the nature of like how unsafe the building is, it'll light like that, like it'll go real fast. So because of how unsafe it is, they've escalated our situation, and what I thought was going to take like a good couple of months, maybe into the new year, that we'd be looking at like moving out and finding somewhere else to live, or getting accustomed to accustomed to a new property, a new life and stuff like that. Not a new life entirely, but you see what I'm saying. It turns out that it's more like a couple of days, which is why I am live today. Because I was like, oh shit, like this is actually happening now. I was like, I thought I had a couple of weeks, a couple of months maybe to figure things out and like actually plan in case of worst case scenario. I can't just make stuff happen overnight. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially like I said, like my dad, if I need something, my dad will just, if I told my dad to turn up tomorrow, he'd drive, no matter how far away he is, and he'd just turn up tomorrow and get whatever I need done, because like I said, that's the kind of people we are. But you can't move mountains. Like stuff takes time, and as it turns out, I don't have a lot of that time. So I got a phone call today with I conversated with this housing officer, and had a big conversation with her and explained the situation and explained our desire to turn it into more of a permanent move, and we're happy to be a bit more flexible about that. In a very fortunate position that I've actually ripped this place apart and made it into an incredibly nice home, to the point where the owner of the property came round to inspect it, and she was gonna fine me because I didn't have planning permission. Yo, George, appreciate the sub. Because I didn't have planning permission. However, because I'm like I said, I'm a legacy tenant technically. I didn't have permission, but I just told them that I had it from before, from the old landlord. And she was like, well, because it's actually done properly and it looks really good, she was more than happy for it, to let it slide. So I know that I've got a good property, like a good apartment here, for anyone who would want this place instead. You know what I mean? So it's like the possibility to move somewhere permanently, they're not going to struggle to shift my apartment once it is fire safe, especially because they probably won't have to disclose that the entire building hasn't been fire safe for the last 13 years. God, fucking thank God, touch wood, that it is like this place is not going up in flames, or there's no fires happened over the last 13 years. Granted, now that I think about it, like a year, 2 years ago, like one of the girls on the ground floor left her child in the apartment, and with I don't even know if it's like an incense, who knows what it was that started the fire, but she left her child in the building while she went out, and the building went up. Like, not the building went on fire, but her apartment set on fire. So it must be fireproof to a degree, because she set her fucking building on, like her apartment on fire, and left a child in there. That's how bad this place has come. Like, it's genuinely really shit here. It used to be lovely. I may just make this joke with Jess. It was like, before you moved in, it was actually a really nice place to live, and it's true. It's just so ironic and weird that since Jess has moved in and Benjamin like born, like this place has just turned to fucking like a drug haven, I swear. But I went through all these details with this officer and expressed our our openness to be, what's the word, like cooperative and actually like I said, like I'm a very level-headed, calm dude. Like I'm not the guy that's going to be shouting down the phone and effing and blinding and really kicking off about the situation. That's just not who I am. Like I'm very calm, collected, as you guys know. I'm so chill. I'm so laid back. I'd fall off this fucking chair. Do you know what I mean? Like the amount of times I get told that I'm so laid back is unreal. So I was speaking to her and like got to know her. Like she was really, really nice and very helpful, to be fair. And I was explaining the situation. She was like, "Oh, I'll speak to management, update them with all the information you've told me, and hopefully we can get you a property that you can move into a bit more permanently." However, they don't just have empty buildings lying around. Whilst I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I swear to God, I drive around even in my local area, and there's new builds popping up all over the fucking place, left, right, and center, and they're all fucking empty. The amount of buildings, the amount of properties I drive past that are up for sale, all empty. There are so many empty properties. I don't know if it's just my local area or this is just a countrywide thing, but dude, there is empty properties all over the country, and it's because they're too fucking expensive for anyone to move into. Yo, Kai, I appreciate the sub. And it's like, but yeah, I get it. Like they don't just have, a house lying around that they could just give us and us move into. Like, I do understand that things take time. And she's like, oh, they have to wait for someone to move out before we could move into it and stuff like that. So the solution is that we are currently, because as I said, it's going to be escalated to the point where I'm talking days away. I literally spoke to someone today, which I'll talk about in a minute, and it's looking like 2 to 3 days that we'll have a place. That's how quick this is getting turned around. And I did not think that I was going to be moving out of here in the next 3 days. It didn't even cross my mind. I was just like, oh, I've got a couple of months. No, it's like the next few days. And she went through my preferences, and I was just like, look, like I can live here, I can live here. This is my situation. I need good internet. Like that is like, I said that's like it's very important to my work. To have good internet, I need a space to work. So instead of instead of searching for a 2-bedroom property, they're actually looking for a 3-bedroom property. So I will finally have an office. God, guys, can you believe it? For all those people who've watched me stream on Twitch for like 5 years, the last 4 or 5 years, how long? I don't even know how long I've been streaming. I am so tired. Don't get me wrong. I love this. I've got it finally really clean with the lighting and the shelves of showing off my stuff and the camera and all this kind of stuff. But dude, the kitchen is just there. Like it's just there. And like when Jess cooks and stuff like that, they eat within arm's reach. I can touch, if Benjamin's having his dinner, I can touch him from my desk. Like, that sounds so weird to say. I could pat him on the head from where I'm sitting. You know what I mean? That's how close it is. And obviously, because I'm in the corner of the lounge, you have to walk past me to get to the kitchen. So every time Jess makes a drink, or like they didn't want to cook dinner, or Benjamin wants a drink, or Benjamin just wants, like, Benjamin likes to be close to me. Like, he's very clingy to me, so he likes to come and sit and watch his tablet near me and stuff like that. It makes it very difficult for me to do my job. Like, don't get me wrong, like I love my family, and I'm so blessed that I've been able to spend 24/7 with them for like the last 4 years since Benjamin's been born. I'm so lucky in that I'm in a very fortunate position that I can do that. So many dads don't get the opportunity to watch their kid grow, and I've had that opportunity. I'm very blessed. But sometimes, like, right, I've got work to do. I'm gonna close this door and I'm just gonna go to work, and I can't do that. So it's like, even like tonight, I'm like, I'm gonna stream so I can let everyone know what's going on, and so I can just get it off my chest, man, because it's like, oh my god, something's going on. I need to talk to people. And like I said to Jess, like, I'm just gonna close the door. I'm gonna close the door. That's why the stream's like at 8 instead of like when my videos go live at 6. I would have streamed at 6, but I can't stream at 6 because that's when everyone's having dinner. So I had to wait till 8 p.m. and then I was like, Jess, like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna kick you out for an hour, like how long it takes me to do this stream. And oh my god, yeah, so there is a high possibility that I get, an office finally, which would be fucking amazing. So like I said, there are silver linings, and we're trying to stay positive. I think I tweeted last night, saying that, there are silver linings, and we're trying to stay positive and actually make shit happen for us rather than waiting on the worst case scenario. Like, we're actively, like I said, being cooperative with them. I don't want to have a go at them. It's not their fault that the building's built like crap. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna have a go at them. Just like trying to be cooperative and let them know what the situation is and what my needs are for me and my family. Yo, Ellen, appreciate the sub. Yeah, it's kind of nice having all these subs here. I don't know if I've got people becoming members. I think Ian became a member today, or renewed his membership. Appreciate you, Ian. Thank you very much. I don't get notifications for that on my thing. I don't know how to set it up. But man, that is basically where we're at. So I received a phone call today when I went to do the school run to pick Benjamin up. And it was from this insurance company that prioritize finding like homes for people or something like that. I can't remember exactly what they're called. But they basically rang me up and they're like, okay, so, you know, 2 adults, a kid who's 4 years old, we need to look for this property in this area. And she basically rang me up to let me know that the process is happening. And I said to her, like, oh, how long is it going to take for you to find me a place? And they were like, she said she'll come back to me tomorrow. So as I stream this, I'm talking like it's a video, but it's not. So tomorrow she's going to call me back with a list of properties for me to look at and be like, yeah, okay, we can live here, we can't live here, this isn't suitable for what we need, blah blah blah. And that's for an Airbnb. So within the next week, maybe, I don't know how long before we pick a place, how long we have that we can move into it. The woman I spoke to, like I said, she was very nice. She was like, don't think that we're just going to kick you out tomorrow. There is time for us to move. They're going to obviously arrange moving stuff. I said, like, in the case, because basically they're getting contractors to come in and assess the building and everyone's apartment. So everyone in this entire block has to go, and they're going to come in, rip the ceilings out. I honestly don't know what they're going to do, but I said to them, I was like, oh, what do we do about our furniture? Because I can't. Yo, Jamba, I appreciate the 10-month membership. It does work. Let's go. Love that. I was like, what? Like, you're gonna put me in an Airbnb within a week? I can't move out of my apartment in a week. Like, you know what I mean? The sheer amount of furniture that I've got is, yo, Souls, appreciate the membership. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for going that extra mile. I genuinely do appreciate that. I've got so much furniture. I was like, dude, it's like, I can't move all this stuff into an Airbnb. I was like, what do we do? And they were like, well, if they will pay for any damages that happen. I was just like, well, I don't really want lots of damages to happen. There's like tens of thousands of pounds worth of gear in my place. Obviously, I'm going to be taking a lot of that stuff with me anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But stuff like, you know, sofas getting ruined or TV units getting ruined, and like, I'm not going to take the TV off the wall and take that with. Yeah, well, I don't know. But, like, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to be taking this stuff with me. It's like, so what happens when the contractors come in and I'm in an Airbnb? Like, I'm not obviously taking this stuff. Like, are you going to cover it, or like what's the plan for that? And she was like, oh, well, if they do start work on your property, they're basically going to remove it, and they've got storage. They're going to put it in storage for us, and anything that get damaged in transit, they're just going to pay for it up front. Like, hopefully that covers that. From a financial perspective, we just have to continue paying for where we are, even though we're not going to be here. We just continue paying for this, and the Airbnb is just, we don't have to pay for anything there. We just live there essentially, and it's obviously all paid for. But I don't know how that's going to entirely work, because are they relying on the Airbnb providing internet? I've only ever stayed in an Airbnb property once in my life, and it was actually when I met Jess. And it was a very, very long time ago. My granddad just passed away, and I was so drunk I can't remember. I slept on the floor at this Airbnb, so I genuinely have no idea what happens at Airbnbs. From my understanding, it's like someone owns a place and they just publicly rent it out to holidaymakers and stuff like that. That was my understanding of what an Airbnb is. But I didn't know who pays for like utilities, like how the internet works there and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really understand how that's gonna. I don't understand how that's gonna work. But yeah, that's where we're at currently. Tomorrow I find out what the properties they're gonna give us look like. I've been like very fortunate that, you know, like I said, Benjamin goes to a school in a place that we actually want to live. That's where we want to move to if given the opportunity to do so. And because of this situation, they've actually given us that opportunity to live there. So in a week's time, I said to Jess earlier, I was just like, in this whole nightmare, we've wanted a house for so many years. Honestly, it's been a long time coming. Do you know what I mean? I was like, in this weird ass nightmare, in a week's time, we could be living in a house in a place that we've wanted to live in for years. I've wanted to live there for years anyway, because it's a local area and stuff like that. But it's kind of a weird, like, okay, this is really kind of nerve-wracking and a little scary, because I've lived here for 13 plus years and I'm gonna have to pack up and go. I don't know what's going to happen to this place. Like, I don't know if they're going to knock the building down. I don't know if they can make it fire safe. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how long it's going to be till I come back here. Like, it's like, what do I take with me? Because I'm going to an Airbnb. So this whole scenario, by the way, because I said, like, yo, Quake, appreciate the sub, dude. Like I said, because I'm at the top end of the building, they're taking from the top and going down. And I was told literally today that we're going to this Airbnb. So wherever they find us, we're there for a month initially, and then I don't know, like, whilst they assess what work needs to be done, so they'll have a more concrete idea of how long things are going to take, when we can come back, if we are going to come back, like all these things basically. So I don't know. It could be this weekend. I genuinely have no idea. They don't seem to know either. So it could be, I assume, next week, because I struggle to believe that they're going to find us a property like tomorrow and then be like, you have to move out on Friday. I don't think it's going to work like that. Yo, Harvey, appreciate the sub. I don't think it's going to work like that. So I imagine at some point next week or even next weekend, I'll be in an Airbnb for a month. How that affects things from a you guys perspective, it probably won't change anything, to be honest. I've been streaming like once a month for the last I don't know, like year. I have tried to get a little bit more consistent of late, but I had COVID and I've got all this shit going on. I've just not had the time to stream, and who knows how good things are going to be in the new place that we can stream there. So yo, Souls Plays with the £50 donation, dude. Thank you so much. Keep your head up high, you three. Sending love, man. Yo, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You don't have to do that, honestly. Like, if you want to refund that, absolutely no problem whatsoever. But yo, thank you very much. I appreciate the kind words. It's got to that point now where I've basically updated you with everything that's going on, and I'm going to open it to the floor. Obviously, whilst I'm chatting shit for what's been 40 minutes now, it's been very hard for me to read what you guys are saying and actually respond to you. So if there's something you said half an hour ago, 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, by all means, like, repeat that comment now so I can read it and respond, and I'll actually do quite a little bit of Q&A for anybody who had advice that they wanted to give me, or questions about what's going on, all that kind of stuff. Then feel free to dump it in the chat now, because I've genuinely been just rambling on for like a good hour or 40 minutes or whatever. I haven't been able to see anything. So I would speak to a solicitor to see what you could do in this situation. We're always here and we'll wait for your return. We got you. Yo, Vart's X. Yeah, I appreciate that sub, dude. Thank you very much. Take pictures of everything. Oh yeah, don't worry. I'll film it. I'll just film it all. I need a drink now. My throat is damaged. Yeah, so the only thing from a cost perspective that I have to front is the apartment. So she basically said to me, I was like, I don't have to worry about like the electric, unless they need power in the property, because I'm on like an e-meter. I don't know how many people are on that or know what that means, but it's basically like a top-up meter, and I can have it on direct debit if I want to, but I like to change how much I put in every month, because electric prices go up and down all the fucking time. Like, literally at the beginning of this year it was like 300 quid a month, and now it's like 150 quid a month. You know what I mean? It's literally halved. Well, I think it was actually more than 300 quid a month, but I just have to continue paying rent, because I assume that rent goes into their pocket, and then they're gonna use that to pay for the property that we move into, and then pay the difference. So like, you know, if it's $1,000 where I am, but it's like $1,500 where I'm going, they'll pay that extra 500. Oh, that was really delayed. That's a crazy delay, actually. I actually want to stream more on YouTube, doing some real life stuff, like whether it's like building Lego or playing games with the family and stuff like that. I do want to do that in the future. I'm waiting on a camera. I actually discovered today that I could use my GoPro as a camera, as a webcam. I didn't know I could do that. That was something to look forward to. When that happens or how that happens now, I don't know. But yo, Matthew Bourne, appreciate the sub. Thank you very much. Yo, sub Victoria. So you have everything you own there documented. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. So I'm gonna go through and make sure, like, I think this weekend the plan is, I'll probably film it, obviously, because that's what I do on the weekends. I vlog what I get up to on the weekends. So I imagine this weekend, spoil the vlogs coming up. You probably won't see that vlog for another couple of weeks, to be fair. But I'm gonna go through, get boxes, and start actually packing things up, because for those people who don't know, there is a double door behind this shelving unit that leads to the outside. And I've currently got a big ass like bookcase, like shelving, like bookcase thing. It's a bookcase. There's no other way to describe what that is. It's a bookcase that covers up a big like door. I don't know what they're called. Is it called a Juliet balcony, where it's just like it's two open doors and there's just like a fucking sheet of glass in front of the door, so you can't walk out into the open. But yeah, I need to take this down because obviously they're going to need to access the wind. I assume they are anyway, but I'm going to have to take this down and pack it all up and stuff like that. So you get ready for some moving vlogs and, you know, following whatever adventure we go on for the next fucking however long this is going to take to do. It's part of the journey, so yeah, the vlogs are going to be a bit crazy. Just sending you all the love and sympathy. 1 second, let me get my mouse. Sympathy for your situation does seem like a great opportunity to make your dream happen in the most stressful way possible. Yeah, Corin, you're not wrong. Like I said, we're trying to focus on the silver linings. There are silver linings in the situation. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, things work out, and we get a house in our dream location, and it turns into a permanent place. Like that would be the dream scenario. Oh, Dan, I appreciate the sub, dude. Council or private? It's not council. Either way, they'll cover over. Yeah. I feel for you. All right, I've been at my home for 7 years, and I have a 4-year-old girl who's also just died of reception, and we've been served a no-fault eviction, so I know exactly how you feel. Jesus. Well, sending all of my love and thoughts for you. I hope things work out. But yeah, it's not nice, is it? Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree what the other saying. Take a photo of everyone for insurance purposes. Yeah. Without dark, there cannot be light. If we have each other, and that's the main thing. Big up to the 340 people in here. Honestly, the amount of people that come through, I genuinely didn't know how many people to expect on a live stream. I'm fucking still gassed that I get like 1,000 views on videos, let alone 300 people coming in to watch me chat shit for fucking an hour. But yeah, I appreciate it. Do an inventory of everything you've got. Yeah, of course, yeah. Guess who just realized he was 50 seconds behind. Is that how long the delay is? Damn. Shame to hear about the place. It was a big part of my teens coming down and smashing smashing out some game bars. I always like the area. It's sad. I know. It's telling me to log into an app. It's nice to see you, Jay. Hope you're doing well, bro. How many floors I'm up? I can't say because I'm just near the top of the building. I don't want to dox myself because some people do actually know where I live, and I don't want to be like, oh, I'm on, you know, the 7th floor. Do you know what I mean? People will just work it out. It's not even worth me saying. All that work making a bookcase and now this man. I know it's actually sad to have all this set up looking as clean as it does. To take it all down is actually depressing. I've put a lot of time and effort into this place, but you know, it's just an object. You know what I mean? It's not like this place does hold some sentiment for me because it was like my first home after being homeless. So it's like this place does obviously mean a lot to me. I'm ready to move on from it. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I've outgrown this place and I'm ready to move out and get a new place and start fresh, so to speak. I just didn't think that this was going to be how that would happen. It's kind of the thing. Sometimes it's not. It's good. It's good to get a kick up the ass and actually make shit happen because, you know, maybe you've been procrastinating for too long. Case maybe. Your rent shouldn't be going on fixing the building. The service charge covers that. No, I mean, like, as in the rent I pay. So obviously when I move out tomorrow, like say if I moved out tomorrow, I continue to pay rent here, that rent will contribute to the Airbnb that I'm staying at and they'll just pay the difference. So if I was paying £1,000 a month on rent in this place, they'll take that £1,000, and then if the Airbnb was 1,500, they'll add 500 to it, and that's how much. They'll just move the money to wherever it's going, I assume. I don't know, I don't work in the industry, so it's hard for me to say. It's a very stressful situation, especially with a child to cater for. I mean, I'm sure Benjamin be over the moon. It's going to be a little bit sad. I also assume for Benjamin that, you know, he's going to be moving out of his bedroom and things that he loves in this place. So it's going to be a bit of a change. And yeah, it's a bit crazy that it's this close to Christmas. We did actually plan on completely Christmasifying our house or apartment for this year because we're staying at home for the first year. So Yeah. But, you know, it's not actually the property that makes a home, it's the family, so I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm usually on Vecky Smiles, so I was surprised when you said my full name. Oops. Oh, good. Happy Place will come in time. I went from a bedsit to a girlfriend's bedsit to a child to a 2-bedroom flat to a 3-bedroom house swap. Bedroom tax, but worth it. Oh yeah, for real. I know about it. I've lived in my apartment for over 10 years and I have no idea what I've done. I'd do if I got a knock on the door, so I'd have to leave in a matter of days. Did you go stay in Tom's basement? Now, I will say, right, I've seen a ton of messages about, wait, go live in Tom's house next door, or go live in Tom's house. Like, why don't you just move in with Tom? Right. First things first, Tom is having a baby. So, like, I was gonna actually go up, surprise him, and actually help him, like, organize his basement and do his help him with his setup and stuff like that, and do that. I was gonna go up and surprise him like I do. You guys have seen in the vlogs that I do that sometimes. But for a change, I texted him, I was like, hey dude, I was thinking about doing this, but I don't want to intrude because I know you're having a kid. Because I don't want to go up there and then the fucking baby's coming, do you know what I mean? Like, he's having a kid. Like, I've been there, I understand, so I don't want to intrude. And I'm moving in with him. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is just like, that's just a no. Like, he's having a kid, I have a kid. Like, I can't just pick Benjamin up and be like, hey, Benjamin, we're just going to go live in Manchester. Fucking 2.5 hours away from where I live. It's just not a reasonable thing. Now, don't get me wrong, like, I will clarify that I know a lot of people who said this or suggest this aren't being serious, but I just thought, just in case for those people who are being serious, just to address it, because I've been in a situation before where people saw the car I drove and they were like, Tom, buy Orion a new car. It's like, fucking hell, relax. It's like, I always say, like, dude, if you're working at McDonald's, would you just go live at your boss's house? You know what I mean? It's you know, it's one of those. Yeah, what's up, Louis? Get some stuff packed. I've got storage space and van ready when you are. I appreciate it, Haley. My brain just went completely flat. Sorry, I was just registering who said that. I was like just reading a comment as it was, and it's actually Haley, my friend. We care for you and your family's well-being. Let's hope temporary place will fit all your needs. Yeah, hopefully. Like, I mean, as long as I can work out of it and still have my own space to do what I do, like, I'm fine. I've always said to Jess, like, when she moved in, I was like, do what the fuck you want with the flat. Don't touch my desk. I was like, that's all I need. I just need my desk. That's all I care about, because this is not only the place where I work, it's my escape from life, and like when I want to play games and switch my brain off and like do stuff. Like, I need my desk. It's so integral to my life. I've relied on my desk ever since I've basically lived in this place. I've always had a space where I could sit down and switch off. Even when I lived in a bedsit hostel, I had a setup where with my desk and my Xbox and stuff, I used to switch off and just play video games. You know what I mean? It's very important to me as a person to have a computer or something of some sort that I can just switch off, and like, that's one of the great things. Like, one of the great things I have with social media and like either Twitter or YouTube, and I've always had this, is that if I want to escape from the world, I can join the online world and get involved with whatever's going on in the online world, whether it's like YouTube gaming, you know, streaming, and all the other stuff that happens online. But in the same respect, like, if I ever want to take a break away from the online world, I can just literally walk over from my desk and go back to the real world. Obviously that sounds weird to say, but I have a complete disconnect. You know what I mean? I've sat at my desk and had death threats and all sorts of stuff, and loads of shit happen online in the past, and I can literally just walk away from my desk and I don't care. I've got a roof above my head, I've got Jess, I've got Benjamin. Whatever you say to me genuinely just falls on deaf ears. It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's so important to me that as long as wherever I go I have internet and my desk will be good. And obviously all the amenities and stuff that we need for Benjamin. Yes, although Benjamin's ridiculously easy to please, so I'm not too stressed about that. Yo, Big Boo, appreciate the sub. Thank you very much. I feel like my chat's froze because I can see it moving on one screen but not moving on the other screen. And I actually think I'm miles behind in the chat. Yeah, I am, because this chat's not working. Hello? Why is that frozen? How do I refresh it? I don't even know. I'll have to look at this screen instead. First time viewer, but I've always liked you from Tom's video when you're in them. I just wanted to come and show my love and prayers for you. I appreciate it, Ultra Cool. I thought you were so high that you wouldn't have a Juliet balcony. I know I do. I have double doors that open up like this, and then I have a glass sheet with a metal rail above it. Literally kind of like Tom's bedroom. You know how Tom's bedroom's got like those glass panels in front of his in his bedroom, so you can't. It's not, you don't walk out onto a balcony. I think it's called a Juliet balcony. I could be wrong. That's what I assume. I should take a picture of where everything is for when you rebuild it. I am, yeah. I will properly document like a before and after thing. I'll probably vlog it anyway, so I always do that. Even when it comes like moving my computer, I'll actually take photos of the back of my PC to see exactly where the wires went, because I've got so much shit coming out my computers. It's not as bad nowadays, but it was. We'll do the best we can to support you through YouTube. Honestly, you watching and leaving, like, you watching is more than enough. Leaving a comment is even better. Like, people leave comments, I genuinely really appreciate you. It's so nice to see active feedback on the videos that I make. Yo, Matt, I appreciate the sub, dude. And then, like, those people who become members, honestly, what the fuck? Like, genuinely, I said it in a vlog not so long ago. Like, I reeled off a list of people that have been members. I've never asked you guys to do that. I don't even give you anything for that. Like, you just do it and show that extra support, and like you're paying to do that. I really appreciate that. So anyone who is a member, a special thank you to you, because spending money on me, like, you don't need to do that. You know, like Souls just fucking donated 50 quid. You don't need to do that, honestly. Just watching and commenting is more than that. I'm very grateful. If at all I can do to help in any way, I'll try my best to assist. Just don't be proud to ask. Yeah, like, I'm very transparent. I don't know if anyone's noticed this. Yo, Matt, I appreciate the sub. I don't know if anyone's noticed this with me. I'm very transparent. I don't hide stuff. I don't talk about drama. It's incredibly rare. Like, I have close friends that come up to me when I sometimes, on a very rare occasion, I'll tweet something that's in my brain that it's like I just need to get out. And it's obviously usually like, sometimes that is like drama or like, you know, stuff that is private. It's very, very rare that I ever do that, but for everything else, I'm very transparent with what goes on in my life. Like, I was like, I need to get this stream out, because if I make a video about it, you guys won't fucking hear about it for 3 weeks, and this is my way of getting it out of my head. Like, don't get me wrong, I speak to Jess all the time, and we're both in a situation together. But you guys, like, for the last 13 years, someone left a really big comment on my channel. I can't remember his fucking name on top of my head. Been like, I've done this for 13 years. Like, you know what I mean? I started my YouTube channel, this very channel that I'm like streaming on right now. I started this channel in 2011, and I've made videos talking about my life and sharing it. And you guys have been a crutch and something for me to lean on, and a place for me to express myself and get things off my chest. And it's been so helpful for me over the years, and that has never changed. I'm very transparent. I got nothing to fucking hide. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a delay from the stream to the chat, and then on top of that, there's an even bigger delay because I'm going through your comments one by one and reading things. I'm probably going to keep this stream to an hour, so I'm going to wrap things up here in a minute. Okay, appreciate the sub. And then by all means, come back to the live stream and leave some comments, and I'll reply to a bunch of comments. I've replied to every comment that's left on the channel, so I don't think I've actually missed a comment since I started vlogging this year. That's probably a lie. Don't quote me on that. Yo, Pixel with the tier 3 membership, dude. Wait, no. Tier 3 subscription on Twitch. Yo, I appreciate the tier 3 on Twitch, dude. Thank you so much. Bro, I remember you getting so gassed about getting some floor down. I can't imagine how happy you're gonna be moving into a house, dude. Honestly, when I moved this, guys, you notice I lived in this place when I first moved in. Like I said, I came from a hostel. I was at college at the time. I lived in a bedsit hostel, and I moved into this place. Had no furnishings, nothing, and it took me a good several years to get flooring down. I was so gassed. To be fair, for the first 2 years, it was literally just a party apartment. We used to throw pies here all the time. The amount of fucking alcohol stains on the floor is ridiculous underneath the carpet. Or when I used to have wooden flooring, but yeah. It's heartwarming. It's heart-wrenching leaving somewhere you've been for ages, but it's a new beginning and all that jazz. Yeah, for sure, 100%. Yo, Corny, thank you very much for becoming a member on the channel. Appreciate you. Very kind. The genuine question is it similar to Glenfield cladding? I don't think so, because I think it's actually, like I said, I think it's the actual integrity of the build. That's why I use the word integrity. Not that's not been quoted. I'm not quoting that word, but they're actually having to come in and rip walls down and actually look inside the wall. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think it's cladding, because cladding is usually just exterior. My tea's getting cold. Yo, Taffy X with a Prime over on Twitch. Thank you very much. So yeah, I don't think it is cladding. There's been some properties on the other side of where I live, like a couple of roads over, and they had issues with their cladding, had the entire exterior ripped down and then put back up and stuff like that. It's not like that. I think it's actually worse. Considering when I moved in, the people who owned the property went bust and it got taken over by someone else. Makes me think that maybe they actually cheaped out on a lot of stuff when building the property and they didn't actually have the money in the first place. I don't know the ins and outs of all that stuff because I don't care, but maybe that's why. Right, I think I'm nearly caught up. I don't like, so for those people who ask, like always just said there, I don't actually know what exactly is wrong with it because I don't pry. It makes no difference to me, like I can't do anything about it. Maybe it'd be useful from like an insurance and compensation perspective to know. Ian with the tier 2 on Twitch, thank you very much, dude, appreciate you. Maybe it'd be important for me to know that information, but I don't think they'd actually disclose it anyway. And like I said, the reason that they're actually moving us out of here into a an Airbnb as quickly as possible is because they actually need to get people in to inspect the property to find out what's actually wrong with it. So I don't even think they know themselves. All they know is just not fire safe. So that'd be weird if Orion started living next to Tom's house and said hello. It'd be a great vlog. Don't get me wrong, it'd be fun. But as I say, the situation doesn't call for it. I appreciate that, Jake. Thank you. Bro, I don't know if it helps, but the place I'm in now does 1 month rolling rent contract in new build houses, so it gives the safety of a house and I'm not locked into a 12-month tenancy. Reach out if you want some more info. I mean, yeah, I'm open to it. Like, if you guys ever want to get in touch with me, I'm always on Twitter. Like, you can tweet me. I think my DMs are actually closed because, like, it started getting... I don't know if anyone else experienced this, but I got a lot of bots DM me all the time. There was, like, this whole fucking thing about checking out... I don't know, was it OnlyFans? I don't even know. I used to get all these fucking DMs, that, like, from that field of work. And it got, like I said, it got very, very bot heavy on Twitter, so I closed my DMs. My Instagram DMs, however, are quite good. I've only just started using it, so I'm sorry if you've actually Insta DM me in the last however long I've had fucking Instagram for. I didn't realize it when it's a request and I could actually accept it and then respond. So I've been doing that recently. So if you've got any information you want to give me, reach out to me on Instagram. Links to that are always in the description, or you can go to my YouTube channel page and you'll see the link at the top there. Pretty sure it's in the description. I could be wrong on that. No, it's in the description, yeah. Instagram's in the description. So yeah, send any extra information, you're more than welcome to send it there. You get the OnlyFans DMs on this Insta? Yeah, it's really bad. I have like an automated bot reply to almost every tweet. It's like, but I never know what it says because it says show spoiler. And I'm like, I don't want to... I come from old school internet where like you click on something and you get jump scared. So I've never clicked on it, so I don't know what it is. Top lad, Orion, hope all works out for you. Jess and Benji will get you sorted and sell the new plays. Enjoy the rest of your evening, man. I appreciate it, Paul. But yeah, guys, I've been rambling and chatting crap for about an hour. I just wanted to get on here and give you guys an update as to what is going on in my life, because as I said, it's moving quite quickly, and I didn't want to leave you guys on a cliffhanger on my socials and stuff like that. I wanted to sit down and actually explain what's going on. I don't even know how I would have begun to explain this in a concise manner in a video. So here I am. The next couple of vlogs coming up are a little bit on the shorter end and a little bit different as well. The video I was actually going to post today is talking about me and Jess and the things that have actually kept us together, which is quite funny. So yeah, that video will be coming out on Sunday. As I said, the next couple of videos are a little bit on the shorter side because I had COVID whilst I filmed those videos. And obviously, as I begin to film me moving out of this place and all the shit that I'm going to go through for the next God knows how long, the vlogs will be probably very long of me moving boxes and stuff. I don't even know, to be honest. It's going to be a stressful time, so please bear with me. I am trying my absolute best. I hate missing a video. I post on Wednesdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. I really despise missing a video. I remember I was in Vietnam, sitting in the bar. I was like, oh god, I haven't got a video because I've been traveling around traveling to the other side of the world. And I literally just filmed like a 3-minute vlog sat on the corner of a road, just so I didn't miss a day. So I don't know what I'm going to do about this one, because it'll go into the live stream tab instead of going into the vlog tab. Maybe that's fine. Maybe people will find it either way. But yeah, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble and sharing your love and you know, giving me some feedback, and not even feedback, but like your advice and stuff like that. That's one of the greatest things about having such a wonderful audience, is that you guys have probably experienced many things that I've never experienced. And I've never experienced this, so I have no idea. I haven't, like I said, I've not moved property since I was like 20 years old. Maybe it was actually, no, I was 18. I've lived here since I was 18. Wait, I've been here for 15 years. Oh, sorry, my brain's starting to tick over now. I've lived here since I was 18 years old. You know what I mean? So I've not ever. It's been a long time. The world has changed a lot. So any advice, I'm always happy for it. I do appreciate everyone showing the love and coming through to support and listen to me chat shit for the last hour. So I'm gonna love you and leave you. I don't know when the next time you will see me live. There will be like I said, there'll be a video on Sunday at 6 p.m. so keep your eyes tuned for that. Make sure you got the notifications turned on. If you are new to my channel and you've only just come here because you're intrigued as to what's going on, then by all means please hit the subscribe button. I do appreciate it. We are on the road. I don't even know what we're on the road to be honest with you. The fact that I've got 27,000 people subscribed is bonkers in itself. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. I do appreciate you as always, and I shall catch you guys next time. So yeah, much love, peace. I've not said that in a while. What button do I press to end the stream? I don't even know. Maybe I'll do some live streams just from my phone. Maybe that could be good. Let me know if you like this. Come back and leave a comment down below and let me know if you enjoyed this kind of thing. Obviously, this is just a bit different because of the dramas going